Let's talk about clothing. We all know that clothing is pretty important. It keeps us warm, it protects us from the elements, it keeps us cool, etc. Clothing is also a form of art and an expression of oneself. And we all know that clothing can be pretty costly depending on the brand. But we don't think about two very important costs, the environmental and social costs. Hi, my name is Zane and welcome to or back to the channel. I'll talk about everything and anything related to the environment, climate, and veganism. This is actually my second time recording this video because the first time I recorded in slow motion and yeah, my mistake. So we're trying this again. Anyway, let's talk about the hidden costs of clothing, specifically the fast fashion industry. Fast fashion contribute a lot to pollution and climate change. The industry is responsible for 10% of global carbon emissions. That number may not sound that big, but take all the international flights and shipping via sea and put that together and boom. That's a lot, isn't it? The environmental consequences of fast fashion is just mind-blowing. Clothing production uses a lot of resources like water, and a lot of the clothing contains cotton, and cotton is a very water-intensive crop. We also have to think about the waste. Each year, millions and millions and millions of clothing ends up in landfills. And of course, it takes hundreds of years for these things to break down because a lot of these are made with polyester. Another bad thing is that because of these clothing that's made out of polyester, they shed microplastics into our water systems whenever we wash them. And eventually that microplastic may end up in ocean and even in our food. Choosing to buy sustainable clothing is one way to be more eco-friendly, and it's a great way. However, some people may not know what other steps to take in order to be eco-friendly and may regress or even just quit being eco-friendly altogether. That's why I created a free 30 Days of Eco Challenge guide. The guide's main goal is to help you become more eco-friendly in 30 days. Yes, 30 days. 30. Again, it's completely free and available for you to download. Just click the link in the description and get started on your eco journey today. Now then, enough self-promotion. Let's talk about the next hidden costs of the fast fashion industry. A lot of these people that's making your Shein clothing and ZARA clothing and Fashion Nova, they're underpaid and they're overworked. And many of them are women and children, and they work in terrible conditions. They have long hours, and they basically make pennies, like literal pennies, like nothing, like zero, zilch, nada, nothing. They might, get a few dollars, yens, whatever, but that is not enough to cover their living expenses. Let me give you an example of how dangerous these working conditions can be. In 2013, the Rana Plaza collapsed, killing over 1,000 garment workers and injuring much more. So, of course, the labor concerns are very important. Also, they face health concerns because many of the things in the dyeing process or just the process of making the clothing in general, you have to use a lot of toxic chemicals. And factories in Bangladesh, Vietnam, and China, they take those toxic chemicals and they just, they dump it in the rivers. And that affects the health of the local communities. Finally, let's talk about conscious consumerism. So we live in a world where fast fashion is incredibly tempting. We got like Shein that offers like super low prices and fast shipping, and the clothes look cute. I know the clothes look cute. We got TEMU, where they're selling stuff for basically free, and all that kind of stuff is really tempting. But we as consumers have more power than we think. By choosing to buy less and buy better, we can reduce the demand for fast fashion and shift towards a more sustainable fashion industry. So I've been talking about sustainable fashion. Like, what's so important about it? Well, sustainable fashion brands focus on quality over quantity. So they use eco-friendly materials like organic cotton, hemp, and recycled materials. They also focus on craftsmanship, meaning that the clothes are made to last and you won't have to go back every month or so to buy new clothing. So when people think of sustainable fashion, they often think costly, but you do not have to spend a lot of money in order to buy sustainable clothing. What's important about sustainable fashion is that it's about making intentional choices with what we already have, buying less often, and investing in quality over quantity. Of course, I'm not just gonna say, well, that's it, goodbye, go on your merry way. I'm gonna give you some tips on how you can get started with sustainable fashion. Number one is to thrift first. So before you go to the store and try to buy new clothing, go check out some thrift shops or shop on secondhand online platforms like Depop and Poshmark. The next thing is to do your research. Research some sustainable fashion brands and, check out their policy, if the clothes look good, etc. The third thing is to care for what you have. Take better care of your clothing. Maybe that means wash them less frequently, or instead of putting them in the dryer, you air dry them. Or you might pick up sewing. So if you have a big old hole in your jeans, you could just sew that right up. Doing this can extend your clothing's life and reduce waste. The fourth thing is to swap and share. Swap clothing with your friends if you guys wear the same size, or swap clothing with your family. It's fun, you can make a game out of it, and is eco-friendly. The fifth and last thing is to embrace minimalism. Build like a small collection of versatile pieces that you can mix and match anytime you want to wear clothes. It'll save you money in the long run, and who don't want to save money? Clothing should make you feel comfortable and reflect you. And I'm pretty sure that you're a nice, beautiful, caring person. So why not wear clothing that is beautifully made, but also ethically made? We, as consumers, can change things. If we choose to support sustainable and ethical fashion, we can help make a more just and eco-friendly future. If you enjoyed today's video, please be sure to give it a like. And if you enjoy topics like this, I recommend you watch this next video. Hopefully it's over here. Or is it over here? I never know. So I'm gonna just watch this next video. Anyways, thank you for watching and see you next time.